Changhua Wu joins us now. She is the CEO of the Beijing Future Innovation Center and Executive Director of the Professional Association for China's Environment. There was this recent paper published last month where plastic was found in the blood of 77% of participants in this study conducted by researchers in Amsterdam. Microplastics are everywhere. They're found in locations like Mount Everest, in the ocean. It's become a huge problem, hasn't it?
It is. I think this also, luckily, this happens to be one of the areas or issues that's so well studied at this moment. And so for any particular challenge, particularly for pollution-related issues, if we understand the challenge, the problem in reality, as well as the sources, the root causes, then we'll be able to come with solutions, innovations there. One example about robotic solutions, there are fish. That's one of the many innovations in the innovative solutions now being deployed in reality. We need more. We need not only solutions or technology solutions for the existing microplastics actually in the environment. We need to figure out how to get rid of them. In the meantime, we have to take other actions to make sure we stop immediately, as soon as possible, further discharge our emissions of plastic waste into the environment, and particularly into the ocean there as well. One of the fascinating things to see is that government is stepping up, business stepping up efforts. In the meantime, policymakers, innovators, financial institutions are mobilizing society, participating in this solution as well, because consumer behavior is one very important part of the problem, and we need to have to make sure consumers also becoming part of the solution.
Yeah, we just saw this piece about the robot fish. I guess that's one example of innovation. But is innovation moving quickly enough to combat some of these problems? I mean, we've got such wide-ranging problems, and I've talked to you in the past about climate change. It just seems like it's kind of a runaway train, and we're talking about these heat waves everywhere. Are we moving fast enough?
No, the simple answer is no. We are not moving fast enough, even though on one side we are fascinated and inspired by the innovations, by a lot of new solutions, technologies, capability there. But in the meantime, the action part definitely lagging behind. On one side, as I said, we had to figure out how to address the existing problems. And in this particular case, we already discharged or emitted so much plastic waste or microplastics in the ocean. We had to figure out how to deal with it. In the meantime, we had to make sure we continue to produce and to consume, continue to discharge plastic waste into the environment. We had to make sure laws, regulations, policy targets, standards, incentives or disincentives are put together to make sure we stop, as I said, immediately, actually, the continued additional discharge. Of course, then we need to go to deeper, say, the production, consumption, how do we deal with the waste? And, particularly now, I think one of the fascinating solutions is on the recyclability there as well, not only technology side, but also value chain, infrastructure there as well, particularly around the cities there. So China definitely has been stepping up its efforts to put specific targets, particularly the 14th five-year plan. By 2025, the country definitely is committed to phase out single-use plastics and making its efforts actually to literally boost recyclability, promoting substitutes, reduce production and consumption. In the meantime, at the end of the day, if we have to somehow still left over the waste, we had to make sure we really reduce the landfill. In the meantime, increasing incineration, particularly putting the plastic, because most of fossil fuel, into the waste to energy part, turn that into resources there as well. So the solutions there definitely are coming together. But as you said, somehow we are still lagging behind in terms of the challenge.